Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. So, ladies, in this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 reasons why guys don't call you back. All right, so a lot of times women, they hit me up and they're like, yo, how come this guy stopped calling me? I thought we had a good time. What's going on, right? So I'm going to give you 5 reasons. And, this is in no order of importance, right? But these are just some reasons that you should know and should be aware of so that you can understand what's really going on. And, some of these reasons are things that you can change to make things better in your situation. And some of them, there's really nothing you can do about it in some of these situations. But it's just to get you to understand what's really going on, right? So the first thing I'm going to talk about, number one, the reason why the guy isn't calling you back is because sex is taking too long to happen. All right, so the sex is taking too long to happen. So now, what is too long? Now, see, the thing is, too long is subjective, meaning to one guy, too long can be, after, the first date, like, oh, we didn't have sex on the first date. That's too long. I'm never calling you again. Or for some guys, too long can be, 2 or 3 months or anywhere in between, right? A good rule of thumb is at least by the third date, sex should be happening, at least by the third date. Anytime after the third date, that's usually too long. And then so guys, they don't call you back. And the reason why is because they figure if you are not having sex with them, that means you don't like them. Right? So that's how guys interpret that. So if the sex is taking too long to happen, then the guy will not call you back. Now, number two, and this, is pretty interesting, is that sex happened and he didn't like the sex, or that's all he wanted. So sex happened and he didn't like the sex, or that's all he wanted. So a guy could have sex with you and actually not like the sex and enjoy the sex. You understand? Something about the sex wasn't doing it for him. So he just didn't enjoy himself. And therefore, he's like, okay, I'm not calling this woman again. Or he might have just wanted to have sex, and that's all he wanted. He didn't necessarily let you know this, but he's like hanging out with you. Y'all are chilling. You thinking everything is all cool. You really like this guy, and then you have sex, and then he never calls you again because that's all he wanted. And a lot of times women, they think that, oh, well, let me just wait this out. If he's just want sex, let me wait it out, and then I'll see, and maybe he'll want me later. And again, referred to the first thing where I said sex is taking too long. So if you wait it out, that could also be a thing that's going to make him not call you because now you're taking too long. And also, even if he just wants sex, making him wait doesn't necessarily solve your problem, because you can wait a whole month and a guy still could just have sex with you and keep it moving. And, that's all he wanted. He'll still wait because he's having sex with other girls on the side, and he's waiting for you to get ready to make it happen. And then once you guys do it, and then he's like, okay, I'm good. I got sex, and then I'm going to keep it moving. Right. So sometimes, it's the guys just wanted the sex, or the guy wasn't really, into the sex, and that'll make him stop calling you back. Now, number 3 is he thought you had a bad attitude. So sometimes you'll go on a date with a guy and you're interacting with him. You guys are having a conversation, and he just gets this vibe that you're sort of either negative or, you don't have a good attitude. You might be a little moody at the moment, or you're not really being responsive to him. So then he's like, well, I'm not really trying to see this girl again. I didn't feel that vibe there. And sometimes, it's very blatant that your attitude is not really that great. And then there's certain times where you might not even notice there are things you're doing that a guy's picking up on that, makes it seem like you don't have a great attitude. So, if you know that you have a bad attitude, you might want to fix that. And if there are certain things that you're not really aware of, right? But you see like there's a pattern of guys just sort of going on dates with you and never really trying to call you again, you might want to look into that, ask your friends like, hey, is there something that I might be doing that you think is making guys not want to see me, right? So you got to understand that aspect. Now, number 4 is you were being flaky or unresponsive. So if a guy's trying to plan a date with you and you flake and you say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't make it, something came up, and then you're wondering why he hasn't gotten back to you or called you, it's because you flaked. So some guys, if you flake on them once, they're done. Or, if you sort of flake on a guy, more than once, most of those times the guy's going to stop calling you. Now, in certain cases, you might be flaking because you're just not that interested anymore. In that case, you should just let him know you're not interested. Or you're dealing with another guy or a few other guys and you're trying to figure stuff out. But either way, that flakiness is the thing that's going to make him not want to, call you back. Or if you're being unresponsive, meaning he's texting you, trying to set something up, and you're not really returning his text or his call or whatever it is. And that's the thing that's going to make him, not want to call you back. Now, number 5 is he didn't think you were worth the effort. He didn't think you were worth the effort, so he's not calling you back. So what does that mean? So what happens is that when guys go out with you on dates and they hang out with you, they sort of getting to know you, they're seeing or assessing how much they're into you. So if they feel like it's going to be a lot of work, and also they start to see that they might not be that into you, they're just like, I'm done. So, and this is what I said this in another video where I was talking about how women need to make it easy for men, because the thing is, when you play hard to get and doing all this other extra stuff, it makes it harder for you because the guy is looking at it and he's saying, okay, well, this girl, she's attractive, but, she's kind of making things difficult. And do I want to put in that much effort to even try to make this work? I don't know. I don't think I do. But if you have a woman who's attractive and she's really, cordial, she cooperates, she makes things easy, then it seems effortless. And then he wants to continue. So if he thinks you're not worth the effort, usually what happens is that there's some sort of difficulty in making things happen with you. Meaning maybe you flaked the first date or whatever, and then now he actually got you on a date, and he gets this vibe from you that you got sort of like a bad attitude, or you just focus on some other stuff, and he's like, is it worth me trying to keep this going? And then if he feels it's not, then he's going to just not do it. All right. So, ladies, that's pretty much it. If you want any more advice, make sure you go to hewantsyou.com and get my audio program, my free audio program, 7 highly effective steps for finding and keeping a man. And I will talk to you later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone.